Good morning. So we are not in my sacred tent because the builders are so loud, I can't do it. So today we are in my little sacred nook in my living room. And I think it's really perfect to show you this because sacred space can be anywhere. And before I had my tent, I actually just had sacred space right here in my living room. And I have sacred things that I would use. So these are one of my sound bowls. This is not my tent sound bowl. I have sound bowls everywhere in my house. These are also sound bowls that my children can play because they can't crack these. So you can have sacred space anywhere in your life. Just keep something sacred next to the spot so that it feels sacred when you go to sit down. So this is our sacred bowl for today. I'm going to drop us in with this bowl. I'm going to invite you to allow the sounds to move through your body, to wake you up. Today we're going to do a beautiful practice, and God is my business plan. Figuring out what it is, I don't know. We'll always be surprised. We're going to be surprised what today is. So take a nice deep breath in with me. Here we go. Honoring the body, honoring the freshness of the day, honoring the morning. The morning is such a beautiful space. And so I want to just drop us into the sacred creative process. I don't have my oil next to me. And so if you don't have your oil, it's okay. If you have the oil that you use every time, then I'm going to invite you to put it on your hands. If you don't know why we use oil, I'll explain that. So if you can pick a smell that you use every time you do the sacred creative process, it trains your brain to know when you're opening up to receive. When you're opening up to receive. So the smell is a trigger for your brain and your body and your soul. So every time you smell that smell, it's like it just goes ching, 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 like all the way through. You stop being super human and you step into your spiritual gifts, your receptivity. So you smell the oil. So I'm going to pretend that I have my oil. Usually I have oil everywhere, but I don't have it here. So we're going to put it on my hands. You're going to breathe in. You're going to imagine this beautiful white light above the top of your head. Breathing it in, moving it all the way down through your body, cleaning, cleansing, clearing, waking it up. We're waking up the body. We're waking up the cells. So breathing in. I can feel that there are some really tired cells in me today. Yesterday was a really big day. My cells are a little tired. How are yours doing? Breathe in one more time. Letting them feel fresh, letting them feel new. That feels like the energy of our practice today, fresh and new. We're going to allow this light to exit our toes. It's going to move up and around our body, sealing it back up at our toes to be an added form of protection, to infuse and insulate you with light. We're going to call in our spiritual team. We're going to call in our angels, our guides, those who are here to lead our work, our purpose, our message. These are our spiritual board of directors, those who we want their support, their guide. Let's see if we can feel into who would we want here today. I'm just hearing for you to drop into your heart and think, who are those who have lived that you would love their wisdom? So I always call in Florence Scovel-Shinn. She's one of my greatest teachers, one of my favorite authors, and her wisdom, it's a part of my work. So I call her in so she may sit with me this morning. And I want you to feel into, who could you call in? Did you have a family member that you loved that was a really deep tether to your heart, to your soul? Would you love to call them in to come and support your work? You're going to call in those who you know you feel safe with. They are going to support you because what you are doing is so deeply important. We need all the support we can get. So we're going to call them in and through the divine light to come and sit by us. Under grace and in perfect ways. There we go, there we go. So now we're going to do the prayer of light. We ask that light will touch our ears so that we can spiritually hear what needs to be heard. Ask that light will touch our third eyes, we'll have access to all of our spiritual gifts. Ask that light will cleanse our lips, that we speak only what needs to be spoken. So we're going to bring in some of the things that we did at the very beginning when I started this series. I want you to take a second and write down if you learned anything while you were sleeping last night. Did you put a request up to God last night, and did you receive any answers? If so, just pause this video and jot them down. You want to bring everything that you receive to earth as quickly as possible. Every time you receive from the divine, every time you receive an idea, an inspiration, like an aha moment, you want to write it down, because you have to birth them into this existence. Otherwise, it's like, I don't know, it's like condensation. It leaves, and then you never can remember it. And then it's like giving somebody a gift and they just threw it away. When you receive inspiration from the divine, it is literally a gift to you. And if you don't bring it in and write it down and bring it to this earthly plane, it just dissolves, and then the gift is just thrown away. No one wants to throw away gifts. No one wants to give you a gift and have you throw it away. Let God give you gifts. There's so many things that you can receive when you open up your heart to receive. That is why God can be your business plan, because God is going to show you exactly the next steps, but you got to bring them to earth or they'll just leave you. And I know you've experienced that. One thing that is really powerful is having someone in your life that you can share these sacred things to, where they have a listening for it. Find somebody. This is why I run masterminds. Honestly, this is like the biggest reason why I run a mastermind instead of working one-on-one with people, because I hold the space for multiple people to be able to have extraordinary experiences receiving. And then they have a community that believes, that actually believes that they are receiving. They're believing that God is speaking to them, that they are getting these ideas, that they are here to change the world. When you can share into somebody's listening, where they are open to receive what you have to say, it changes you. And what happens is it takes this thing that you received, that you wrote down, because that's what we're doing, we're writing it down, but it takes it and it actually turns it 3D. It turns it into reality, and you live into it as though it is so. This is very important. So if you don't have a person that you can share, fastest way to get one is to ask God to bring that person in. Ask God to bring in the person who can witness the truths that come to you, who can hear the brilliant sacred things that you're having experiences with, and that they can receive it. That this person will be brought to you under grace and in perfect ways. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right? Just really simple. Ask God to bring that in. You want to bring in even just one person who can witness these truths. It will validate what you're hearing. It will validate it in your body. And when we get that validated, we can do anything. We just need one person to witness, one person to see us, one person to hear us. And then anything is possible. So call that person in. If you want to be an extraordinary community, reach out to me. I have an amazing mastermind where I hold the space for this, where people learn how to channel their books guided by the divine, where people learn how to build their businesses in this magical way. So with that, I want you to breathe in. And I want you to feel as though you already have that person. Whether you have that person or not, I want you to just feel as though you already do. Okay, so just breathe in. I want you to feel the safety of having one person, at least one person, who sees you, hears you, knows you, who witnesses and believes you. And I want you to feel how safe it is in your body, how grounded it is, and how it witnesses that what you have seen, heard, and know, especially about your purpose, how it is true. And that this just plants it so much more firmly into your body. Can you feel the safety here? The safety of being received. the safety of being heard, the safety of being loved. Breathe that in. Today, I want you to feel this. Anytime you might feel shaky in your purpose, anytime you might say, oh, I don't know if I can do this thing today. I don't know if I have the energy for this thing, or whatever it is. There's usually something that pushes you to the edge, that pushes you past your limits, and you're gonna wanna say like, oh my gosh, I can't do this thing. I want you to close your eyes and drop back into this feeling, the feeling of having one person. And maybe I can just be your energetic person right here and now. Like, until your person shows up, know that right here, I am a full 100% believer that whatever you are receiving, visions, hearing, knowing, seeing, they are real. And whatever you've heard about your purpose is real. It is not made up. You did not come up with this idea. You did not choose this. It was chosen for you. You were chosen for this. So I'm here being a witness. And I want you to feel that. I want you to know that I believe you. I believe that God speaks to man and women. I believe that you receive exactly what needs to be received. And that this time, it's no coincidence that you made it here to my videos. It's no coincidence that you're in my life. There is a space and a place for you in this world, and your work is so deeply important. So I want you to just feel that. Feel what it's like to have someone believe in you, to see you, to hear you, to trust you, who knows that what you're receiving is accurate and says, let's get going. And ready, set, go. That's what I want you to get, okay? So close your eyes, feel it. And I want you to come back to this place. It's almost like this warm, embodied blanket that gets wrapped around you, and it brings you down into your feet. Brings you solidly into your feet. You can do this. Everything that has been invited of you, asked of you, inspired, you have everything it takes to do it. All right? So I want you to close your eyes. And today we're going to ask, what's the number one most important thing that gets done today? So quiet your mind and just listen. What's the number one most important thing that needs to be done today? So it's interesting. I want you to take what you received, and then I want you to write it down in your notebook. So do that first, and I'm gonna play you a song. Is this a song? I'm gonna play you a sound. I'll play you a sound while you write that down. Okay, so sometimes you're going to get a very clear answer with work. Send this email out, reach out to this person, very distinct things. Now, sometimes it's going to be really obscure things. Like this morning, just now, I received seeing myself laying on my land in my orchard, heart to heart with the earth. And I was shown that's the most important thing I do today. So that is it, okay? So I've got a lot of things with work today and kids, and somewhere in the middle, getting out to my orchard is the most important thing for me. So I'm going to trust that. And then that becomes top priority. Like, my day doesn't end without that one thing being complete. Now, if you need help doing this one thing, this is where you get to call in your angels. And you're going to call them in. You're going to call in your angels and your guides and those who are here to support you in and through the divine light to help you accomplish this one thing. So I'm going to invite my angels to open up 15 minutes of my day today, where I can go out and just lay on the land and ground myself and get into the earth. And then I'm just going to wrap that whole situation up and hand it over to God. So I want you to pause this video, and I want you to do that. Call in your angels, invite them to help you do this number one thing that you were just shown. Spread open the time, call in the people, whatever else needs to happen. And then you're going to wrap the situation in light and then just hand it over to God. Actually, don't pause. We're supposed to stay together. So here we go. Just do it right here with me. Okay, so now we're going to finish up with one thing that's in your heart that you just would love to have happen today. One thing. So feel into it. One thing. All right. Whatever's there, don't shame it. Don't make it wrong. Don't make it be like, it should be something else. Let it be what it is. And you're going to invite your angels to help this one thing happen. So we're going to call on our angels. We're going to ask them to help this one thing that's in your heart come to fruition today under grace and in the most perfect ways. And then you're going to feel as though it's already been done. Feel as though it's already been done. The peace that it brings, the joy that it brings, the expansion in your heart that it brings. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, my dear friend, I want you to feel how different you feel. This is 17 minutes. This was kind of a longer video, but in 17 minutes, how different your body feels. I honor you for taking the time to connect within, to connect above, to work with your spiritual team, to honor yourself, to take a moment in preparation for this beautiful day. May today be a day where your heart is held. May today be a day where you feel seen, witnessed, heard, loved, believed. May today be a day of light. And I will see you tonight.